Guys, it's no secret. You know I love barbell apparel. If you have an athletic build, you're going to love them as well when you finally have something to wear that fits as good as it looks. Right now, Barbell Apparel is running their Swolemate sale. Grab something for you and for your partner. Let them know you notice their hard work with clothing built to keep them motivated in the gym. For a limited time, get any of their jeans, chinos, or anything pants for $99. That's $50 below normal. These pants are amazing. They're built to fit athletic bodies, and you'll have complete freedom of movement. Barbell's pants are as comfortable as sweatpants. The quality and construction is second to none, and they are guaranteed for a full year. Go to barbellapparel.com now to take advantage of this special offer, or just click on the link below. Use promo code CHAEL10 for an additional 10% off your order. Official prediction, Izzy Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. Guys, Izzy Adesanya, right? They've already done this. And there's nothing that's really changed. You got the same two guys in the same weight class, with the same teams, the same corners, walking out to the same music, doing the same thing. What am I missing? And you really have to have that. You really do have to have an answer for what is different. Now, in all fairness, I can give you something that's different, which is they both know what they're getting into. I believe Robert Whittaker was petrified the first time they fought, and I don't know why. Because Robert Whittaker was believed by many people to be the one that was going to stop Adesanya. Don't forget, it was Whittaker who was the champion at the time. Whittaker is the one who walked out second. There was something about it that threw him off. He's been very open to get you close to what I said, but I happened to be there and I could see it. I could see it in his eyes in the walkout. I walked around Australia, even made a video checking out different coffee shops and just talking to random people. Everybody in town knew about it. There's a lot of pressure, 57,000 live people. But it was still Robert Whittaker, who I believe to be one of the great strikers ever within the division, the sport, let alone the division, against Izzy Adesanya, who's one of the great strikers ever within the division and the sport. But this is going to be close. You got the length of Adesanya, you got the power of Robert Whittaker, you got the experience of Whittaker, you got the support of the hometown. Things are going to be really great for Robert Whittaker. It was anything but that. This was one of the most uncompetitive world title fights I have ever seen. Only in that Whittaker was knocked out twice. I've never seen that before. 2 different times the ref stepped in to stop the fight. And I can't remember now because it's been 2 or 3. I can't remember how they restarted the fight. But Whittaker was knocked out twice that night and came out of it and did not want a rematch. He said as much. They tried to book a rematch. This fight was 3 years ago. I'm saying they tried to book it 2.5 years ago. The fight was 2.5 years ago. They tried to book it 2 years ago. What I'm saying is Robert Whittaker's fought 3 guys since. Dana White came out and said, this is the fight I'm going to do. The next thing you know, Whittaker's getting in there with Kelvin Gastelum, just by example. So I don't know that Whittaker wants this. And I had one of those beatings one time, guys. I've never competed with anybody in my life and lost and not wanted another shot. And in wrestling, you got that a lot. Very next week, we're going to be at some other gym, at some other tournament. We both show up. We could try to figure this thing out. It was one of those things. Same thing happened in fighting, except for when I fought Jon Jones. I never asked for a rematch. I never talked about a rematch. My coach and I never sat down and studied the fight, so the next time we saw Jon, I'm out. I get it. It was just one of those things. And I feel as though that's what Whittaker went through. Now, in all fairness, if I was given the opportunity and asked to sign a contract and go do it again, I would have, and I would have prepared. But I wouldn't be the one out looking for it. I only suggest that because I feel like I'm right there with Whittaker. I feel like I've had the same experience that Whittaker had. Whittaker's attempting to overcome it. Now, whether Rob knows this or not, physically speaking, he has made the bigger gains. Robert Whittaker, for sure, I could bring down the tape and show it to you, has made bigger gains from the first time he fought Adesanya till now versus Adesanya in that fight until now. But there was a big gap. When I talk about he's making gains, there's still a gap. So I lean towards Adesanya, and I only bring in the physicality of Robert Whittaker, what he physically has done differently, both wrestling and grappling, 2 very hard departments to learn, while his striking and conditioning strength stayed on point. But if Robert Whittaker doesn't believe what I just said, then it's not true. If Whittaker doesn't look at the man in the mirror and know you're better tonight and you now have a plan B, because he did not have a plan B. He was not equipped with it the first time they fought. He was going to have to go out and kickbox with him. And it was going to have to be your length versus my power. That's what it was going to be. It ended up being speed mixed with length against a little bit of a frozen, right? Anderson Silva used to do this all the time. People thought he was being arrogant. People would say, oh, he's being cocky. He's being disrespectful. But it's not. Some of those movements and motions, it's like the Medusa. The Medusa will turn you to stone. Anderson Silva would give you looks. You didn't know what was going on. Boom, boom, boom. And that's how it was, just setups. That's how he would attack you. Izzy is a king of those same things. Izzy's not out there breakdancing and making fun of his opponent and writing things. That's a distraction. He's setting you up. He's going to come into a breakdance and kick you right in the mouth like Anderson did Vitor. I mean, I only bring that to you just so you understand that this is what Robert Whittaker was up against. He knew he was up against it. Many people thought he was going to overcome it, but we still understood what the battle was going to be. It was going to be two cage fighters out there kickboxing, and it was. That's not what Whittaker brings to the cage this time. Whittaker now brings excellent takedowns. Go see his last 3 fights. He now brings excellent grappling. Go see his last 3 fights. Against a guy in Adesanya who is damn near perfect. But if you look very closely, and you only have to go as far back as Jan Blachowicz rounds 4 and 5 against Izzy Adesanya, if there's a way to beat him, it's to get his ass down and hold him there. That is not a skill that Robert Whittaker had the first time they fought. It absolutely is a skill that he has now. Problem. Same thing that Jack Hermanson faced against Sean Strickland. Before you can start the grappling. Grappling's once you get to the ground, guys. Don't forget that. Wrestling is what you do on the feet. The takedown is the wrestling, the ground, the guard work, his rubber guard, all these things that don't work. But all that stuff happens once you hit the ground. So Whittaker, who's greatly improved his grappling, do we believe that his wrestling is enough to get Adesanya down? Do we believe that Whittaker is better with the takedowns or equal to Jan Blachowicz? Fair question. And I don't think that we do have that answer. Izzy Adesanya is damn good at the defensive wrestling. He's as good as Jose Aldo. But, what happens in between, and does Robert Whittaker know this? Is Robert Whittaker in his hotel room right now thinking about the weigh-in, getting focused on the fight, and is he aware, I'm not the same guy? I had one plan last time because I was only equipped with one skill. I now have 2 because I've taken the time to prepare. I can now do 2 things to Adesanya. If Whittaker knows that, you're going to have a very different fight. If Whittaker does not know that, you're going to have a very different fight. That was a one-sided ass whipping that should have been stopped in the first round and was stopped in the second round. That is not happening here. Absolutely not. Whittaker has now what it takes, and with the experience, having been in there, the mask is off, no more Medusa. I know what I'm getting into because I've already been here once. Whittaker has what it takes to get to minute 18, to minute 23, to all 5 rounds. He has what it takes. And if they do go to all 5 rounds, I would expect that Whittaker's even going to win a round. So Whittaker just needs to do what I'm saying he's going to do, but he needs to do it 3 times instead of 1, right? I mean, there is definitely a path to beating Adesanya. But that's not the name of this segment. This segment is an official prediction. I'm putting the curse on Izzy.